And they're off. This is the 10, ladies and gentlemen. The women's race for all the marbles. We've got a prize purse. You can donate into the prize purse, add to the prize purse as this race proceeds. And maybe they'll know. You never know out there. Somebody could be shouting, "Hey, they just dumped a bit more into the prize purse. Pick it up a little bit."
That would be motivating, honestly, throughout the 10K to hear that.
Yeah.
I hope someone's shouting that at them.
Absolutely. So it looks like now we've got Vanessa Frazier out front, running alongside the bricks. Courtney Frericks in second, and then Karissa Schweitzer in third place. Elise Mccolgan, the ASICS athlete, in fourth. And as we said, the Bowerman Track Club right now is probably the hottest team in the nation. They're on fire. They've got a loaded stable of top runners in the U.S., and they're unmatched by any other team. Coming up to the lap right here at the moment, and they're at 71 seconds through the first lap. So what they're looking for, if they're going to run the Olympic standard this evening, which is 31:25, then that pace is 75.4. So they're significantly under starting out in this first lap.
They're just getting the nerves out, I think, a little bit. Shaking it out.
Yeah. Putting a lot of trust in Vanessa Frazier up front.
I mean, I would too.
Yeah.
If that's your teammate.
Absolutely. And this kind of team element is somewhat new to the sport of track and field. The way that the Bowerman Track Club functions, having pace setters up who are their own teammates with an kind of an inside strategy and an inside plan really benefits them. And it's not like these pace setters are your run-of-the-mill pace setters either. Vanessa Frazier, number 2 all-time indoors in the women's 5,000, and Courtney Frericks, the silver medalist at the World Championship and American record holder in the steeplechase. She's also run 14:50 in a 5K. So, I mean, having athletes like Courtney Frericks pace you, that's almost like having an Evan Jager up front pace you. Well, it is like having an Evan Jager up front pace you, which Evan Jager will be pacing the men's race.
Exactly. I couldn't think of a more reliable duo up there in the front pacing their teammates.
So they've settled into the second lap here with a 74-second 400-meter circuit. So that puts us roughly at 2:25 through the 800 meters. 2 laps down, 23 laps to go. And more about the field here. Kim Conley is also in the field, the New Balance athlete. And she is a Northern California native. She actually went to the same high school as Sarah Bay. Did you know that?
I did not.
Montgomery High School. And she's also a UC Davis Aggie. Go Ags.
Yep.
She burst onto the scene in 2012 with that famous qualifying lean in the 5,000 meters. She just outleaned Julia Lucas to make that third spot. And she's been at the top ever since. She ran 15:36 on this track in December. So she's looking to make a splash in the 10K this evening. As we said before, you can add to the prize purse as this race proceeds. And you can do that through the link in the description just below the video that you're watching. So if you're watching this now and you're listening in to us, just click on that link right below and you can add to this prize purse. Like this is a brand new thing. And to my knowledge, it hasn't been done before in this way.
I mean, I've never seen it been done before.
Yeah, and there are people that have other opinions around this method to build the prize purse here. But as we said before, it's very much like the boxing and the MMA style of, hey, we want to get the biggest stars into the ring and see them duke it out. Let's build the purse in a pay-per-view style, but we're going to be providing the feed for you.
Yep. We're giving money directly to the people that are working hard right now out on the track.
Exactly. It's athletes who run the sport.
Exactly. We want to see these epic races, and that prize purse helps us put it on.
So the 1600-meter mark here was passed in 4:57:14. Laps 3 and 4 got a 75.4 and then a 75 flat. So some very good pacemaking here from Vanessa Frazier up front.
It's like a metronome there. 75s, click them off.
She is. She's locked in. I mean, she got a little. She put some in the bank up front for him.
Honestly, I feel
nice.
like you need that. Yeah, I would like that as an athlete.
Absolutely. But now she's right on pace, and you can see her passing the beautiful bricks there. We've got Courtney Frericks right behind her, looking to take her turn when Vanessa steps off. But who knows? I actually talked to Vanessa yesterday, and she said that she's healthy, she's fit, she's ready to go. So she said, "Hey, maybe I'll just stay on the whole way." But she said, "Nah, I'm just kidding."
Yeah, I was like, oh, I did not know that. That's a bold move.
Absolutely. Now the women are passing 5 laps. And it was passed 5 laps down, another 75.2 for them. And nobody is faltering at the moment. It is a tight pace line there for the 7 athletes in the field and then 2 rabbits up front there. And it looks like Karissa Schweitzer is in the armchair spot, as you call it, right in third behind the rabbits. She's looking to stay out of trouble, but Elise Mccolgan, the tall athlete from Dundee, Scotland, is right on her outside shoulder. And Eilish actually, she has a best of 31:16 in this event. She took nearly a minute off of her PB from 2017. We say PB because she's from across the pond. We'll say PR for the American athletes.
Okay.
But we have to refer to these athletes in their native, or for their native tongue here. Yeah, she actually took a minute off of her best time running 31:16. Before that, she was close to a minute. She ran 32:10. She's 7th on the list of the all-time 10,000 meter athletes for Great Britain. Emma, listen to this. Her mom is 4th on the list.
My goodness.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Do you think her mom wants her to beat her?
Her mom coaches her too.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a little. I don't know.
I wonder how that is.
Yeah, Liz Mccolgan is her mom, 4th on the list. Her mom's run 30:57 in the 10,000 meters. So we could see some family history in the Mccolgan family being made this evening.
That makes things more interesting for sure.
As a British athlete, Paula Radcliffe has the record for Great Britain, and that's 30.01, and that was set in 2002. Let's see. No real change of order up here at the moment. You can see Elise Cranny right behind Eilish Mccolgan, and this is Elise Cranny's first 10,000 meter race. She's more known for her 1,500 meter and 5,000 meter prowess. She's a Stanford athlete as well, along with Vanessa Frazier up front. Did you compete against these women?
I did, yeah, back in the day. Good old Pac-12.
As an Oregon Duck.
Yep.
So lap 7 passed in 76 seconds. So Vanessa Frazier staying on pace. They're looking for 75s if they want to hit that Olympic standard. And we've just heard that the prize purse has now increased to 8.5K right now. So there's $8,500 in the purse at the moment. And that'll be divided between the winners of the women's and men's races here. So we can see the 2 mile coming up right now. And still Vanessa Frazier in the front. Followed by Courtney Frericks, Karissa Schweitzer, Eilish Mccolgan. and then Elise Cranny, and then Emily Infeld behind her.
Like Vanessa just stepped off.
Vanessa just stepped off, yes. So she took him through 2 miles in a job well done. And that last lap was passed in another 75. So we're right on 31:15 pace for the 10K. And Courtney Frerich's now charging out front, and she's followed still by Karissa Schweitzer. You know, there's something about women's American running right now that is that's really striking me. And these American distance runners are not afraid to line up against anybody, anywhere, anytime. Like there can be a lot of dancing around each other on the men's side. Like there's a lot of trash talking, and then like, I don't know, maybe I'll step on the track, maybe I won't. But the women, they're gonna be like, they're stepping on the track and they want to race each other. They don't even care. They want to throw down.
Well, I feel like with the cancellation of all the 2020 meets, they're ready to go. People are fit right now. If there's a racing opportunity, they're ready. They're going to get on the track no matter who's there.
Absolutely. And
even if it's just their own team.
Even if it's just their own team.
Yeah.
I mean, we like to see the teams compete against each other. But, I mean, you do what you have to do. It's like the circumstances during 2020 were definitely tough, and that's extended into 2021 with the COVID and the precautions that you have to take. You can see on the track now, somebody, a men's athlete, is doing skipping jumping jacks to warm up. And Courtney Frerichs is charging out front still with Karissa Schweitzer in tow. And Elise Mccolgan still behind her. Elise Cranny, then Emily Infeld, Gwen Jorgensen behind Emily Infeld, and then Marielle Hall and Kim Conley. So many of these Bowerman athletes have competed in a 3,000 meter race, the Prickly Pear invite, and that took place about 2 weeks ago now, something like that. Karissa Schweitzer and Elise Cranny fared very well in that. I believe Karissa Schweitzer was 3rd place in that, and she ran 8:40, and Elise Cranny was less than 1/10 of a second behind her. So they're in very good shape. That we know for less than 1/3 of what they're running right now. But this is uncharted territory. Karissa Schweitzer has run this race, but not since college, when she was a Mizzou Tiger. And her best time is 32 flat. So with the pace she's on right now, she's looking to demolish that time. And you've got some insider information on Karissa Schweitzer, right?
I mean, I would say so. She is my roommate. So I would say, I do have a little bit of insider information. She is confirmed fit right now. So I'm excited to see how she does. First 10K since college. Ripping off the Band-Aid, you could say. Been on there for a little while. So I'm excited to see how she fares against this field. But she did look great at the Prickly Pear. So
she looked great at the Prickly Pear. And then last summer running the second fastest all time in the 5,000 meters. Right behind her teammate Shelby Houlihan. She ran 14:26, 5,000 meters.
That race will stick in my mind forever. That was very iconic.
Yeah, what were you doing that evening?
Watching them race on the TV.
What was your reaction to that?
I was appalled. I just can't even believe people can run that fast. Her and Shelby looked amazing. They were flying across the track. It was unreal.
They're putting these times out of reach these days.
Yeah, it's for real.
But it's also really inspiring, too, for the kids out there.
Yeah.
And for the athletes training hard, too.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's inspiring for a lot of professional athletes. I mean, I feel like they set a barrier for the entire U.S. field.
Absolutely. That's a mark out there that people are looking at. And maybe like, I don't know about it right now, but they're warming up to it.
Yeah.
And eventually somebody else will come along and take a shot. But who knows? I mean, they could be stepping down a bit, too. Like, they still have a lot. Shelby and Karissa have a lot left in their careers, and we could see that time come down a lot more. But Karissa, a 5K, 10K athlete in college, too. Her future could be in the 10K.
Yeah.
But she's also a 4-flat 1,500 meter runner, so she's got the wheels, too.
Yeah. She's got a very wide range, and she's only 24. Like you said, long career ahead of her.
Absolutely. She's got a long and very promising career right ahead of her. And Elise Cranny, too. Elise Cranny, as we said, more of a 1500 5K type, but we hear from the inside that she's been absolutely nailing these altitude workouts, and she's had a couple mile repeat workouts specifically that we've heard of, and I don't know splits because the Bowerman Track Club is very secretive with their information, as they should be, proprietary. And we're coming up on the 5K in 100 meters here. We still have Courtney Frericks out front. And Karissa Schweitzer still in second. Elise Mccolgan in third. And right now these athletes are just trying to get through these first kilometers, and then the real racing starts at the end. So 15:35. Right around there for the 5K, which is a super time. And Kim Conley still in the pack there, right behind Marielle Hall. For a reference, she ran 15:36 in December in the 5K, and she came through right about that for the 10K. So it seems like her training is going very well up in Flagstaff. It seems like all of these athletes are training in Flagstaff right now. Flagstaff's the place
Arizona
to be.
was definitely the place to be this past month. I think almost every professional runner was in Arizona at some point.
And you went down to visit in Arizona or in Flagstaff recently.
Well, that was back in November.
Oh,
but some of these athletes were there. So.
Yeah, and they were just getting settled in, right?
Yeah. People have been working hard over the last couple months.
Absolutely. And it's going to show tonight, I think. Everybody's looking pretty good. We see that Gwen Jorgensen is dropping off the back a little bit there, but other than that, everybody else is right in the pack. Kim Conley trailing Marielle Hall at the back of that pack there, and then Emily Infeld in front of her. And Emily Infeld is a great story too. I mean, she's a fantastic individual and has been on Tracklandia a few times. And we've got to talk to her about her Emilyisms, like she refers to when she's feeling good. She says the leggies are feeling good.
Z leggies.
Yeah. And she
it looks like Z leggies are feeling good tonight so far.
It looks like the leggies are feeling good. And what does she say? The best compliment that you can get from Emily Infeld too is when she calls you a stud.
Okay.
You're a freaking stud. And you know what? You're a freaking stud, Emma Abrahamson.
Wow, thank you so much. But it's not coming from Emily Infeld, so.
Right. And the last 4 laps that these athletes have passed have all been under 75 seconds. 74 seconds to be exact. So they're just inching down incrementally this pace. And 75 seconds, as we said, is the Olympic standard. 75.4 seconds. That's kind of the setup to the race that we're going to see at the end here. But 75 seconds, I mean, we're going to see, I feel like we're going to see a pretty good race between these athletes here. Elise Mccolgan has been nipping at the heels of Karissa Schweitzer, ready to throw down and try and get under her mom's best time of 30:57. And they were approaching 6K right now. And that would be 18:45 would be 31:15 pace. So let's see what they pass here. And they're slightly under that. Looks like 18:44 or so. Oh, just under. And that was a 75-second lap as well. So through 10 laps, 6K, and they're under or right on 31:15 pace. So somebody get under 31 this evening. That would be a real treat, I think.
I think we can see it happen. I mean, this whole pack is looking great, so.
There's some real contenders in this pack, too. And we talked about earlier, I mentioned, like, the attitude of women in the States, and I guess you could say women abroad, too, because Elise Mccolgan is in this race from Dundee, Scotland, has just been that they're not afraid to shoot for the fences and call their shot, point to the fences, take a big swing. For all you baseball fans out there. Emma's trying to hold in her laughter, but she doesn't have to.
I'm gonna say I don't know much about baseball. I'm watching a track meet right now, so.
Right. Well, we're just trying to be inclusive of all the fans out there.
Okay.
But I think personally, a lot of like this mentality.
Courtney is stepping off.
Courtney is stepping off, and we're at 4 miles. And that's a 74-second lap, and 4 miles past just under 20 minutes. So under 5-minute pace through 4 miles, 19:59. Pretty amazing.
Already seems like in this next lap, things are going to start spreading out.
It does. It seems like somebody should be making a move at some point here, because right now with both rabbits stepping off, there were 2.2 miles left when Courtney stepped off. Now it's left up to the pack to decide who's going to take the lead, and everybody has to see what cards they have to play at this moment. So right now you can see the wheels spinning in everybody's minds to think, okay, Karissa's out front here. Looks like she's trying to drive the pace a little bit, but what's my play? How can I get in there, and how can I steal some of this money that's being built up in the prize purse? But I think back to what I was saying about the attitude of women's runners at this moment in time. I think that has a lot to do with Shalane Flanagan, and a lot of these women who are running now look up to her as a hero and came up admiring and respecting her. And now she's a coach on the Bowerman Track Club and really coaching the women up on the team. And she's inspiring them to shoot for the fences and not really give a darn about what other people think. Just make it happen. And we could see the pack is tightening up here. Kim Conley's dropping back slightly, but Marielle Hall here and Emily Infeld holding on there. And we've got the Red Lightning right now of the Bowerman Track Club. 4 runners right there, and Elise Mccolgan in the blue too, mixing it up.
Eilish looks like she could be ready to strike at any moment. She's been running on the outside for the whole time. I feel like she's just got a card to play and she's waiting.
She's got some secrets, huh?
Yeah, I think she does.
And she's in there. Like we said, this Bowerman Track Club is a well-oiled machine, and they've got a strategy and probably a secret strategy that they're not telling anybody with the pacing and how they're working together. But much like you see pace trains work in the Tour de France, and how we saw Tadej Pogačar come through and win this year in the Tour de France, he didn't really have a team that was backing him. Eilish Mccolgan now taking the front.
I told you she's got a card to play.
Taking a little bit from Pogačar there. And she's got her foot on the gas. We'll see that last lap was passed in just under 75 seconds. So they're clicking off with change to spare right around 75 seconds per lap. And what are you thinking right now, Emma? What do you like? What?
You know what I was thinking?
What?
These 5 athletes look incredible right now. I think it could be anyone's race.
You think it could be any one of these 5 athletes here?
I think it's who has turned their brain off for the last 23 minutes and who has that last final gear.
That's kind of one of the keys to this is like, okay, we just and Jerry Schumacher has said it himself too. We just need to get them around the track enough times so that they can use their speed at the end. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
So who can stay relaxed in the pocket? We got 74.2 for the last lap. And Eilish Mccolgan ratcheting it down slightly, getting under that 75-minute pace there. And the next lap that we're coming up to is 8K. 25 flat is the 31:15 mark. So we'll see what they come through in 8K.
Jeff, what are you thinking?
What am I thinking right now? Man, I think it's tough to tell. I think this is a long push for Eilish Mccolgan here. I mean, she could just be thinking about, I don't know if she's thinking about the win or if she's thinking about gunning for mom's time here and inching up on that all-time Great Britain list. But I have to think that she wants to win this race. And
it is interesting because she made that move pretty early.
She did.
Yeah.
She's pushing from a long way out here.
But she was sitting back for a while, so she wasn't doing much work front.
Right. And
she was Holding
was
her own.
right on the outside shoulder, kind of nipping at the heels
Yep.
of Karissa Schweitzer.
Oh, we got a little lead change.
74 flat, 24.56 through 8K, and it looks like Elise Cranny. And I was just getting to that. Elise Cranny is looking good too, but
She's looking very strong, I will say.
she's unproven at 10,000, but growing up in Niwot, Colorado, she grew up at altitude. You know she's got the strength, and she's proven herself at these distances at 1,500 and 5K to be a contender whenever she's on the track. 4 times in college, runner-up at NCAAs.
She's an extremely tough individual. And
She's
that
tough.
bodes well for the 10K.
Yeah, I think like she's looking very good, and Karissa Schweitzer now, her teammate, right on her heels too.
Emily Infeld making a pass here too on the curve.
So Eilish led for a while, but it looks like the Red Lightning is coming through strong right now.
Emily needs to close that gap real fast.
And Emily she's a great individual and very, like, she's had some struggles with injuries throughout her career, but it's amazing every time. Oh, that last lap was a 72 second last lap.
They're dropping it down.
Yeah, Elise
At least
Cranny.
he's using that 1,500 meter speed right now.
Does she want to do that now? She must be feeling pretty confident.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Emily Infeld is an athlete who struggled with injuries, but every time she's come back from injury, it seems like she's right where she left off.
Yep.
So she doesn't need that build-up time very much. She's just right back in it. And Eilish Mccolgan coming back on Emily Infeld.
Yeah, those two fighting.
There's a battle back there. Infeld's holding her off. And here's Elise Cranny up front, the 1,500-meter runner, leading late in this race in the 10,000. Are we about to see things shift on the national landscape in the 10,000 meters?
That would be extremely interesting. I mean,
This is big news.
yeah. One of the biggest things about the 10K, I feel like you have to be excited to run it. And I was talking to Elise yesterday through the Instagram DM, and she seemed very excited.
She's ready to go?
Yeah.
Did she seem like she had a royal flush in her hand, ready to throw it down?
I think so. I think she was ready to rock and roll.
And that, I mean, this is going to be tough having, it looks like Karissa Schweitzer is taking the lead from Elise Cranny right now. They're sharing it.
Maybe this is a plan.
That was another 72-second lap there.
Woo!
So we've got the Red Lightning, Bowerman Track Club working together up front.
This is an exciting race. I'm excited to see this finish.
I mean, they can only work together for so long, but both of them know that they have right now the pot at 8.5K hanging over their heads. And somebody wants to go home with that. Everybody wants to go home with that. So they're coming up on 1K to go right now. This is 9K that they're passing. And as they float by those bricks, they're coming up on Gwen Jorgensen here. This could be anybody's race at the moment, but Karissa Schweitzer has been here before. This is not uncharted territory for her. So Elise Cranny is out of book, what they say in chess here.
But Elise Cranny, she is a 1,500-meter runner, so she has that closing speed.
If she can hang on long enough.
But does she have the closing speed after 9.5K?
Yeah, that's what we're going to find out. And, well, Karissa Schweitzer, too. As we said, a 4-flat 1,500-meter runner.
Yeah, she's legit, too. So
she's got the speed.
I would categorize Karissa as a 1,500-meter as well. 1,500-meter runner.
And it's a 2-woman race right now. But Emily Infeld could still be in this. And let's see Eilish Mccolgan, too. They're a little back right now, but oh man, Karissa Schweitzer looks like she's really opening it up, but Elise Cranny not giving her an inch. These athletes have been doing workouts together in Flagstaff. They know each other. They know what kind of shape they're in, and of course they want to push each other. But there's a prize purse on the line here, and we're gonna see who's gonna take it in these closing laps.
They're both looking great.
So they're ratcheting it down. We could be seeing somewhere in the neighborhood of a 31-minute 10K right now. So that is the barrier that we're looking for them to possibly break, and that would put them high up on the all-time list for American 10,000-meter runners. There have been 5 women who have broken 31 minutes in the 10,000 meters. 5 American women. This is the last lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the bell lap of this, and
it's gonna come down to this right now.
There is no separation between Karissa Schweitzer and Elise Cranny. It looks like Elise Cranny is trying to make a move on Karissa Schweitzer, the vet of the 10K. But now Karissa Schweitzer going to the arms and looking for some separation, but she's not getting it around the bricks.
It's going to be down to the last final straightaway.
It's a battle in the brickyard. Who's got the mortar to hold this together? Who's going to bring the hammer? They're both running as hard as they can. Look at this. Here comes Elise Cranny on Karissa Schweitzer, gunning for the line. Here it is, and they're well under 31 minutes.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness.
It is Cranny with the win. 30-47-42 to Karissa Schweitzer, 30-47-99.
Last split 65.
And Elise Cranny, 65 seconds for both of them on that final circuit. So they are number 3 and number 4 all time on the American 10,000 meter list now, right behind their mentor, Shalane Flanagan.
Wow.
You have Molly Huddle at the top, 30-13. Shalane Flanagan with a 30-22. And now Elise Cranny and Karissa Schweitzer, 30-47. What do you think of that?
Man, that just shows the strength and speed that those Bowerman girls have. Obviously, being able to click off 25 minutes of pure grind fest and then close in a 65.
The grind fest.
I mean, that's what the 10K is. It's a grind fest.
This is a grind fest in the brickyard tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like Elise Mccolgan has snuck under 31 minutes, too. She ran 30-58-94. And she is just outside.
Ooh.
Just outside her mom's best time. And Infeld also gets the Olympic standard, so well under the U.S. trial standard, obviously, over a minute. But she's run 31:08.57, and that is under the Olympic standard. So, I mean, she gets top 3, then she's going to Tokyo.
A lot of boxes are being ticked tonight.
Man, what a successful evening. I'm losing my voice. I believe Liz Mccolgan's time is 30:57 on that list there, so just outside for Liz Mccolgan, but she's inching closer.